Hey guys, this is Ben Weiss from Flippa. I'm here with one of our featured listings. Today we have got a fantastic e-commerce opportunity, and I am joined by Alex, who will tell us a bit about what he's got here. So Alex, if you want to just say hey to the world, let us know who you are, what your background is a little bit, and what you've got for us here on Flippa.
Sure. Thank you, Ben. My name is Alex. I live in Brooklyn. And about 3 years ago, I started this awesome brand of e-commerce called Artletica. Basically, I was looking for a gap, something I could tap into, something different, something that I could try to grow. And it was kind of a learning experience for me. I started with a Kickstarter campaign, which was successful. I think we raised $28,500 for this concept that I hired like a very special artist through a design competition that ended up building these 6 designs. It was kind of like an entrepreneurial journey dream, and I learned a lot throughout the way. But what had happened at the time 3 years ago is that I ordered a lot of inventory, and I didn't really have essentially at the time real e-commerce experience. Though Kickstarter orders were fulfilled and I wanted to transition into a long-term e-commerce business, I think the lack of experience and some better opportunities that came at the time basically didn't allow me to really invest as much time as I wanted to it, especially at the point after I built everything out. So I had the fulfillment set up, I had the store built out, I had already some following online, trademark and all the assets, basically full package that you're actually seeing today is something that was built out 2.5, 3 years ago. And since then I started, I was not really consistent enough as far as advertising goes. I've tried little things here and there, but I never really kind of invested myself. And at this point I came to realization that I'm probably not going to have time to invest further into this business, and every aspect of it is really completely built out. So I find it that if someone actually took it with its inventory, which we have 850 units, and of the selling value of the inventory itself, if you sell it at the price that we've been selling it for $89.99, multiply that by 850, so that could in itself could be really good. So if they take that business, that concept, and plug it into their system they already have, especially if they have several e-commerce businesses, something that they've done before, they could really crush it. I have an Amazon listing that's not live now because I ran out of inventory for my FBA, but just as a testimony, we had I think it was 4.7 stars with 40 authentic reviews or so. I mean, those were all the authentic reviews. So I'm just saying that it's kind of the testimony to me that there is a lot of juice there. The product is great, people love it, a lot of feedback, authentic, real feedback that's amazing. And that's why I was like really always hesitant to actually go ahead and try to sell it or try to do anything about it, because I was like, but it's so good, I invested myself so much. It's just like, I could really push it. I'll find time. I'll just like hire someone to do this, and it just like really never came together. So at this point, I find it best for me to give it to someone who's involved with this, and they would just plug it into their system, and it's gonna perform really well.
Yeah.
And I'd be very happy to guide them through, whether it's in any questions with financial or background or things we've done. I'm open to any questions. But that's my story basically as far as this business goes.
Yeah, no, it is. It's such a good product. Like I was just having a blast flowing through the website. You've got like some good videos on there, and I don't have yoga mats.
That's another
I
pity.
don't have your yoga mats in my house, but they look like something I want to play with.
They are a very good product. I'll tell you a little bit about the background of why I ended up doing this specific product and how I found it. I was looking for a yoga mat for my wife. That's a true story. I'm an artist by nature. I'm an entrepreneur as well, but I've done a lot of graphic design myself. I didn't design these because they're more advanced than what I do, but I was looking for like a really nice yoga mat. And as I was searching through Amazon, I found that I kind of started just learning what types of yoga mats are out there. I'm not a yogi, but for my wife, I had to do the research. So I found that they have like very nice, cool designed ones. And all of those were done like by different artists. There were a lot of cool ideas out there, but they're all done with microfiber material, which is something you could print on very well. But as far as yoga mat, it kind of stinks. You'll see that the reviews of the quality of the mat itself is terrible. It's very slippery, and it it doesn't have a good grip, which is very important for people. And then you have like the mainstream brands that have good grips, and a lot of times just the boring kind of plain color mat that they would use. So I was thinking to myself, why don't have like different designs for those that have a good grip? You know, the rubber, natural rubber, eco-friendly, all that. So I ended up doing a lot of research, and I found a supplier, a factory in Taiwan that had been experimenting with this particular type of printing, which is basically printing on rubber with rubber paint, if you'd like. It's a unique method that they've been doing, and actually, from what I heard since then, they've been doing very well with different countries with that method. And I created this design competition, and I created the concept. I ended up pushing it on Kickstarter, and it really kind of picked up, from the feedback that I've been getting from people, not just my mom, but people that that really are in yoga. They said that it looks and works amazing. So, after the prototypes and all that, we ended up with great product, which I still have in my hands. And the gap that we're filling is the fact that it has this beautiful design while also being eco-friendly, and it has good grip. Those things as a combination is not something you'll see a lot of. And the customers that we've had over this time has been, there are some that is still carried through Kickstarter. They would buy one mat at Kickstarter of one color, and then since then they would come back and they would buy another 5 of each color. And so it was fun, especially like yoga studios, like people that are really, really into it, they know that it's a very good product, which is again why I didn't want to let it go until now. But then I made a decision that it's time. So I want to pass it into good hands. It's like my baby,
Yeah, I hear it.
I adopted a puppy, but I can't take care of it anymore. So I have to get it
Absolutely. I
hear
hear that.
Make it into a well-trained beast.
I hear it a lot on Flippa. It's the hardest thing is just letting go of something that you've built, and you want to run it.
Because it's like, but I could just come back to it and just like, if I just carve out 5-10 hours a week, I could still do it. It's just not happening. So you know what? I have 3 kids, thank God. I've been pretty occupied with a lot of other projects that are, not they're really delivering right away, and I don't have to take any additional risks right now, which I don't want to do. So that's kind of where the decision's coming from and where the story of the brand is. And as far as assets, I just want to mention a few things. Over these years, as I mentioned, I've tried several things, and I never really fully, I guess, pushed them to their performance capacity and to actually give them enough time and focus. I keep getting distracted with these things, but I had the video, like I said, the Kickstarter video. We have a version that doesn't have, the last part that basically is essentially just a great promo video. And then we have a lot of photography and influencers that style that's, influencer pictures and stuff like that. You'll find that also adds a lot of value. For instance, if you go on Instagram and you look at where Artletica is tagged in, you'll see a ton of pictures from all kinds of, influencers, micro influencers, bigger influencers, excuse me, that, review the mats and give their feedback, and they all love it. It's like a very Instagram friendly product as well, because it creates a lot of attention. So I find even the times that, let's say, I don't do any marketing whatsoever, I don't sell, I don't do influencers, I don't do this and do that, I will still get a couple sales every month. And that to me is just a testimony that people are seeing the product, like, oh, what is that? That's cool. Like Artletica, and then they go. So we have traffic from that, but, and there's no optimization that I've done with Google. There's no SEO, none of that stuff that probably, again, if someone knows what they're doing and they did it, they would amplify things and drive their marketing costs down tremendously.
Yeah.
I didn't have the experience, but I think that the testimony is the fact that you have people with huge following and whatever. So that's where we're at.
No, absolutely. It makes sense. And I guess, that's probably the biggest potential, I guess, is for a new owner, is someone who is pretty much an expert at digital marketing. Is that what you'd look at it?
Either that, or if they already perhaps have either a platform or they have some kind of a audience perhaps that already has that kind of criteria, that kind of demographic, people that are into like maybe the mindfulness and the yoga, right, and the healthy food, and tends to be women between like 35 and 55 or so. But it works well also for like professional yogis that really are like really into their mats. They know what a good mat is and what a bad mat is. There's a $10 piece of foam you could buy at Target, or there is like, you have very good mats for $150, $200 out there. So it really works for those, and it also works for people that just, I found that there's both.
Yeah. No, it's great. There's a huge audience for it. And I think there's a lot of people on Flippa who are looking for something like this. And believe me, our community knows how to advertise on the internet. So I think there's some people who are gonna be
That's
excited for
yeah.
this.
I think that's I think that's the missing piece, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, and you have the great product. The product is there. So I think if you got someone who's got the time and the ability to advertise, this could go a long way. So, hopefully we
100%.
do find the right person for you. So thanks a lot for sharing.
Thank you. If there's any other questions, please comment on the Flippa page. I'm not a Flippa expert. It's my first time posting on Flippa, but I'm getting a gist of how it works, and I think it's a cool platform. I think that I'm happy to answer anything. If there are any serious buyers, I'm happy to send them a mat to check it out as well. Definitely not embarrassed of my product. There's and happy to collaborate with you guys in different capacities, but I would ideally want to just sell it to someone who's gonna crush it.
Awesome. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Benjamin, and very excited to connect with my future customers.